it's my fault.
I knew I should have left you home. Leave it to a girl to screw things up.
You are the most sexist, immature, nut-brained... I'm embarrassed to be related to you!
We could have saved him!
You know we couldn't! He was gone!
No!
Why are you so obsessed with the pot issue?
Because you're not right, and it doesn't matter if we've talked about it for 4 hours. In this instance, you are incorrect.
To the 30 million people!
Does it matter?
Jews in the Ukraine that died. It was killed.
And now another fight's breaking out in front of the Pistons bench.
I can't believe we're here in the house of nonsense.
Try to keep an open mind, Sokka. There are things in this world that just can't be explained. Wouldn't it be nice to have some insight into your future?
It would be nice to have some bean curd puffs.
There are a lot of amazing things that lead to genuine human relationships, but in order to avoid that disconnect between people with different opinions or just causing a lack of peace, there is one step we have to take in exuding one certain trait. Hey everyone, my name is Joe, and in this video I'm going to be talking about open-mindedness. As someone who's been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender lately, I've really come to like that show a lot and really be inspired from it, from all its themes and its lessons from each episode. So in this video, I'm going to use the character Sokka to show the duality of open-mindedness and closed-mindedness. Authentic Happiness, a website developed by the Positive Psychology Center at the University of Pennsylvania, describes open-mindedness as: open-mindedness is the willingness to search actively for evidence against one's favorite beliefs, plans, or goals, and to weigh such evidence fairly when it is available. A phrase I like to associate with this is putting your guard up or down. So there are two things that are ingrained in our bodies from the very day that we're born. For one, our body's main job is to protect ourselves. And secondly, we're taking in information to apply to the present moment. When I say information, I'm really talking about everything in our entire human experience, from our relationships to every human that we come into contact with, and just learning how to perform certain tasks. Say for one, if there's a hot stove, you're not going to put your hand on it because you learned a long time ago that it's not safe to do that, that you're going to hurt yourself. Of course, as we all know, the body is not always right. This brings us to what I mean by putting your guard down. This information that we're taking in is part of our whole worldview, you know, our truths and our whole perspective about how we see things. Obviously, everyone's perspective is different, and when you come into contact with someone who has a different perspective or different opinion, you have the choice to decide to put your guard up and being closed-minded, or putting your guard down and being open-minded and considering new possibilities. Now, when people come to this decision, we often default to being closed-minded. When we deal with people who are closed-minded, it's important to understand it's not as simple as saying it's just a difference of opinions. It's really fear, and specifically the fear of being wrong. So when it comes to things we care about most, our body's going to want to protect, because the fear of being wrong is very strong. And when the body senses that there's going to be attack towards that, it's going to cover up and close up and deny any possibilities that that thing that's been so ingrained in you is wrong. So while with Sokka, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a closed-minded person, the way he's written in the show shows a lot of dangerous traits that could lead to a lot more closed-mindedness. I mean, look at him. From the very beginning, he's pretty distrustful of Aang and calls him out as a traitor. Another example is the whole culture of the South Tribe, that he has to be the protector. When he meets Suki, he clings to his personal beliefs about what a warrior truly is as a result of clashing with people who aren't in line with that. Him not wanting to consider other possibilities caused him a lot of suffering, and that's the exact example of how closed-mindedness works. In the Fortune Teller episode, we see the negative consequences for Sokka's closed-mindedness. When Aunt Wu tells him that
your future is full of struggle and anguish, most of it self-inflicted.
I see this as how much unneeded suffering closed-mindedness causes for him. This applies the same way in the real world. We cause suffering to ourselves and to other people. And this doesn't just come from nothing. Think about when we see the flashback of him talking to his dad.
Being a man is knowing where you're needed the most. And for you right now, that's here protecting your sister.
I don't understand.
Someday you will. I'm gonna miss you so much.
This example shows like the whole thing with how we take in information and we apply it to the present moment. The more we care about things, the less we're going to take in new possibilities if we care about them the most.
Sokka, you're making a mistake.
No, I'm keeping my promise to Dad. I'm protecting you from threats like him.
In the real world, the most prominent example is political conversations. Some of the things we care about the most are about how we should live our lives, which shows why closed-mindedness is so enticing in these conversations. As a result, we cause suffering by defending our beliefs to no end. It goes to show that sometimes we have to give up the thing we want the most by simply admitting that we were wrong.
I'm sorry if I insulted you earlier. I was wrong.
When we do this, we better ourselves and create peace for our friends, family, and society as a whole. Given what is going on in our world right now, we need this more than ever. So in terms of action steps, you have to experience what it's like to be open and closed-minded. The next time you're in an argument, really pay attention to what happens in your body. Pay attention to what you're urged to do. Pay attention to how you want to defend yourself and how you may want to tell the other person that they're wrong. Just everything that's happening, just observe it. You're gonna see how your attention hones in on wanting to defend yourself because that's your body's automatic fear response. When you're able to do this, you're able to make corrections. This is a slow process and it takes time because it's very hard to get over what's ingrained in your body. But as you continue to be more mindful of what happens every time that you're in these situations, you're gonna be able to become more open-minded. Second of all, it's important that we start accepting the idea of questioning literally everything. Even some of the most basic facts you know, just consider the possibility that they're wrong, because this plays back into the idea of what I was saying about how we have our own perspectives and our truths and what we build up in the information that we gain through our whole entire lives. Now with these two things down, I want to suggest something that's going to take a little bit more time and is a little harder to do. By that I mean getting outside of your comfort zone and gaining more perspectives from other people. This usually happens with the people that we grew up with in high school, the people that we grew up in our town, the people that we just get comfortable with. When you take the initiative to just talk to other people, just getting a sense for what they like, what they don't like, you're able to understand that not everyone lives the same way that you do. As you do this, you're just more okay with it. You're not going to evoke that fear response as much because you understand more and more that it's okay for people to have different opinions than you. I want you all to know that this is going to be very hard. Going against our human nature is a very hard thing to do, especially when it comes to things that we really care about. And there's always going to be things that we care about more than other people. That's what makes humans so great, because we're all so unique in our own ways. So when someone says something that goes against something that you really care about or clashes with that, it's going to be really hard to be open-minded. So when you inevitably have those moments when you're closed-minded, don't be too hard on yourself. Just know that as long as you're trying, that's literally the only thing that matters. And that's all I got for this video. If you want to talk to me about anything, whether it be open-mindedness or just any other topic, my Discord link is in the description box below. My socials are in there as well. Should have mentioned this before, but if you like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Take care everyone, and have a nice day.